How you doing, folks? Today I'm gonna talk about an experience I had while I was living in Belfast. I moved out from Brazil to Belfast in February 2015, and I told you the previous experience I had with God was in the Agape Therapia, that interior healing retreat I attended in São Paulo in 2014. You can watch the video if you haven't done yet. Click in here. And so I was very excited to move to another country. And I went to live with my dad, and I lived with him from February 2015 until October. So because of a lot of reasons, a lot of circumstances, a lot of situations that led me to live in an absolute disgrace, away from the grace of God, away from attending the sacraments, receiving Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament, and everything else. So I was living in sin, and I was destroyed. My soul, my prayer life was destroyed. Everything I with a lot of effort and a lot of grace I could build, I lost. So towards November, I actually rented a room in a shared flat with a Spanish girl, and I went to live by myself. So in December, I had an amazing experience with God, and I'm gonna tell you about it. Living this sinful life, in this dark paths, in this dark ways, in this disgrace I was living, I felt lonely. And I remembered that in many occasions I went to parties until late night. I was with girls, I was drinking, I was talking nonsense, and I was trying to fit in a group of foreigners for me. Irish people, British people, foreigners who were living in Belfast as well, a lot of Spanish friends I had by the time, but in any occasion I was trying to be something I was not, to fit in. So being melancholic, I had an amazing grace, and God reminded me about who I was, what I was doing. And so I wanted to show you this picture here. This is what happened. I opened this book, this one here, and I wrote a poem called I Will Be Back. And in this poem, this is in Portuguese, I'm not going to translate here, but I said, by the end of it, I will be back to the life of radical and true love, the only life in God, the one for which I was made. So the Holy Spirit enlightened my soul, enlightened my eyes, and I could see with the eyes of faith the sort of life I was living. And there was a song playing in the background as well from a Brazilian Catholic singer called Davidson Silva, that is the same name as the poem I wrote, called I Will Be Back. And so that is the experience of the prodigal son. How I miss my father's house. I want to be back there and restart my life. So this feeling, this attitude, this spontaneous will took over my mind, my soul, my spirit, and I really had the desire to get back to the grace of God. There's another picture that I want to show you here, that is this one here, that I'm crying. Obviously the grace of God took over my heart, and Jesus, Our Lady, heaven was down there in my bedroom. And with my prayer, with the poem I wrote, with the song, with my tears, and So I wanted to take this picture to show the cross, the crucifix, because for a lot of time, a lot of reasons, I was hiding it. This was being kept in one of my shelves, and I wanted to be reminded, because melancholics need to be reminded about the grace of God, about the experiences they had, because they often forget. So the Holy Spirit came and brought me this amazing grace. So I had a lot of things that I was keeping, like a lot of cans of beer and a bottle of Jack Daniels, a lot of alcoholic drinks, and those were signs for me for sin, because they remind me that when I would drink, I would go after girls, I would go in parties, and I would spend my energy, my life, the best in me in sin. So I got rid of them. I got rid of contacts of people who would help me to sin too. So this was very important. And though after a couple of months, I ended up getting back to sin, I fall down again, but the desire of my heart was not to do it, and that is what's important. So this video is only to remind you and to inspire you to get back to the grace of God. Maybe you could be away from the sacraments. How long ago was the last time that you attended Mass? How long ago have you how long ago when you prayed the rosary for the last time? How long ago you spoke to God? You talked to him like you talk to a friend. How long ago was the last time that you spoke about God, spoke about faith with other people in your work, your relatives, your friends? So I want to just read the passage of the Psalms, the one that God inspired me. So actually in the English version of the Bible, the Catholic Bible, it is the Psalm 30, Psalms chapter 30. Psalm Canticle of the dedication of House of David. I praise you to the heights, Yahweh, for you have raised me up. You have not let my foes make merry over me. Yahweh, my God, I cried to you for help, and you healed me. That is the experience I had. Yahweh, you have lifted me out of Sheol, from among those who sink into oblivion. You have given me life. Make music for Yahweh. All you who are faithful to him, praise his unforgettable holiness. His anger lasts but a moment, his favor through life. In the evening come tears, but with dawn cries of joy. Maybe you could have been in this situation. Carefree, I used to think, nothing can ever shake me. Your favor, Yahweh, set me on impregnable heights. But you turned away your face and I was terrified. To you, Yahweh, I call, to my God I cry for mercy. What point is there in my death, my going down to the abyss? Can the dust praise you or proclaim your faithfulness? Listen, Yahweh. Take pity on me, Yahweh. Be my help. You have turned my mourning into dancing. You have stripped off my sackcloth and clothed me with joy. So my heart will sing to you unceasingly. Yahweh, my God, I shall praise you forever. God bless you.